Just in the sexual politics, really. I think a sex addict as such, or a person who has an affliction to this disease as such, pornography, the internet, the access of pornographic images, the access to sort of sexual content is sort of quite, prevalent. It's everywhere, and I think that was the sort of starting point to sort of explore someone who had this affliction. In my day, to sort of, pornography was on the top shelf of a newsagent. It was a faraway thing, and now the access to it it's much more prevalent, and therefore it has a sort of influence to the amount of sort of activity there is in the sex addiction state as such. If that makes any sense. I'll get better, don't worry.
No, but that's more societal than political, is it?
Excuse me?
It's more a question of society than a question of politics.
Yes, no, politics as well, because, the sexualization of images, to sell anything or whatever, it's prevalent, it's all around us. Sex is all around us, but it's done in a way, in a very commercial way. As pornography is in some way, you pay to go online or whatever. It has a certain kind of, it's active in our everyday. If you're aware of it or not, it's prevalent. It's very, very active, and of course, to navigate your way through this world it's difficult. It's difficult. I think everyone's involved.
The whole idea that sex is such a primal instinct, obviously originally there in order for us to survive, to procreate, reproduce, and not go extinct, and as sort of we've developed or not, we arrive at a place where, of course people realize that it is such a strong instinct and therefore so prevalent within the human race, so people set about to make money out of it. And so everywhere you go, there's sex is being sold to you one way or the other, and like Steve said, you'd have to be pretty blinkered not to realize that or see it. Whether that be whether you're buying a soda or even a breakfast cereal, sex is being sold to you, and you're told what to sort of wear, or how much you should weigh, or how you should look in order to be sexy, in order to be successful, in order to be accepted. And so there's just so much information, and it's so exploited that for somebody like Steve and two gentlemen here to take on board the topic and deal with it in a very serious way, and open it up and look at it in a very honest way, I think is what makes it special. And what makes it really special for me is the fact that audiences have responded the way they have, and meaning that there is still a place, contrary to many of the films being made, for an intelligent, brave audience that can take chances and involve themselves in the film, ask questions, participate when they go to the cinema, as opposed to just sitting there eating popcorn and being entertained with that comfortable fourth wall in between the screen and the audience. No, they sort of step over that wall, and they're in it with Brandon, in it with these characters, experiencing and questioning themselves.
It's a little bit like jazz in a way. You write the music, there's a melody, the harmony, and within that form, within that sort of piece of music, you can improvise, but there's a roof, there's a ceiling. You have to improvise within a certain kind of notes you could play within that space. And I don't hire robots, hire actors, just like great players. And of course, Michael's a great player. So you write the song, and then, there's it's a chance for him to improvise, and within that frame, he improvises. And of course, you can't go out of that because it'd be wrong. But within that frame, and that's what he does.
The start of our process was in New York, and meeting a few people and meeting a few experts in the field, and I think Steve said last night we thought that we'd be meeting people in anoraks who sort of spent all day watching porn, and what we met were some of the most sophisticated people who just couldn't manage their lives in the same way that people can't sometimes manage their food intake or their drink intake. And I think it was a real surprise for us, and it was we thought we were going to be sort of having a drink and laughing about it, and actually it felt like a day of maths. It was quite an intense experience.